are you using? Okay, you need to become. Okay, perfect. All right. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to apologize that we're starting a bit late, but then it's important that we have everything on record. And then I'm happy that we have a little above 100 people on this call this evening. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Ambassador Daniel Onoja, the GCM of Wave, and Wave is a community of digital entrepreneurs. Sometime last year, we collaborated with an exchange to promote and to use them for our digital asset trading and all of that. We found this taking opportunity on the exchange and we decided to leverage that opportunity. All right. And down the line, we had, or the exchange communicated to us that they encountered some challenges. This was in November, and we all know the stories. They shut down, some partially, operations halted until first week of January. And then from 8th of January till date, new stakers were able to do activities, full activities, put in money, withdraw money, etc. But the old members who started sometime in May there about 2024 are not able to make full withdrawal. We started getting about 0.2%, which they mentioned to us that because they were hacked, they also lost some money, they had some misfortunes. They also had some of the team members or the management members pulled out of the company. So they needed to do a major rebranding, a major overhaul of the whole system. And that led to them arriving at a new system they called UBX, all right? Maybe we all joined when the name was UBX, UBIT Exchange, UBITX, but right now it is rebranded to UBX. And then the platform coin changed from UBIT or UBITX to now
UB to UB.
they have UB, all right? Okay, yeah, from UB as the ticker. So the coin was UBTX, but the ticker was UB, and then now they have the UBX, all right? And there are also other new things that we are seeing on the exchange. Maybe we would find time to begin to define because now there will be need for us to understand fully the new system. Personally, I haven't been giving attention to it, so I cared less about what UBC was, what XAI was, what's UBC. They had a lot of new things that we're not really interested in, especially myself. We're just basically focused on how to get the money out, how we would get our money out. And meetings the past 2 days, the meetings I attended the past 2 days, and some of our delegates have been attending the past 3 days, we now understood the essence or the reason why they had all of these new things coming into existence, right? Like the XAI, the UBC, the what's the other one? There's UBC, there's STUBC, there's STUBX, there's UBX, there's XAI. So it's like 4 different platform coins right now, in addition to EUSDT that is also going to be in the future. It's going to be another platform coin. So I arrived Singapore 22nd night, and 23rd morning, as early as 9 a.m. we set out, arrived the office at about past 9:30 thereabout. And we met some new people there. The people I used to know was Edmond, Michael, and U Director. These were the only 3 people I used to know. But again, there were about 6, 7 other people there working there, like new faces that I was just meeting for the first time. And yeah, it made sense to know that as the company is expanding, maybe they have extra hands. So we have been having challenge with their mode of communication. They just stand up and abruptly just implement something. So for me, it was one of the turn-offs. We complained and they said that has been looked into because now they have employed Brian and one other man, I can't remember his name. They are in charge of UBX Academy, which is also the corporate information or corporate communication team. All right. Now, what this means is that they are responsible for communicating to us exactly what needs to be done and how that needs to be done. All right. We were apprehensive of whatever that would the result of the meeting will be. So we're really anxious, wanting to know where we stood, but we could see that their faces were a bit relaxed. Edmond was always happy and laughing, unlike when he looked pressed. Also, you director and all of that. We tried to observe their body language, and they all looked cheerful. They all looked hopeful. They all looked like they were getting results or getting things resolved. Don't forget what they said before was that no money on ground. The only thing they could do was to get some new venture capitalists to partner up so that they could bring money for them to be able to get things done. But again, on another hand, they said the money that was got from these venture capitalists, the venture capitalists do not want all of the money to be invested into repaying old members, because he's not just going to bring money to let his money be used to settle debts. Yes, he's interested in the future of the company, and there are things he mentioned that made him like the project. And one of the things is that the fast growth in the company, 300,000 registered members within the period of operation, was impressive. And to him, he said he's been in exchange business for like 7 years. He's a shareholder with Coinbase, and he's from the same city with CZ, the owner of Binance. He's also friends. He mentioned by himself, he said he's friends with the owner of Bybit. Like you all know, exchange businesses always revolve around the Chinese people. This man is also Chinese. Unfortunately for me or for us, he doesn't speak English. So he speaks only Chinese. So he has someone translating for him. Right now, as I speak to us, the situation is that this man in question, his name is Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson has bought over some of the shares, all right, that the other venture capitalists abandoned. So the former venture capitalists that we're always talking about, that we're always mentioning in presentations, that these are the owners or the venture capitalists that invested into UBX. Those guys had walked out of the business because they were disappointed, or they couldn't get whatever they wanted to get. They were at some point they just felt there's nothing there for them again, and so they pulled out. That's the language. So they pulled out, leaving Mr. Johnson to come in, and Mr. Johnson brought in two other guys. Now these guys, please, can you just let me remove that person so that next time the person will know how to co-host? Please let me remove that person. Just remove the person from the meeting. Just remove the person straight. Yeah, the person will have to travel by himself to go and look for if he can do that. Remove him from the meeting so that he will not be here. Yeah, I think he's gone. Yep. So Mr. Johnson came in, and then he brought in two other different teams of people. These people are young people, like in their 30s or even before, maybe late 20s or even early 30s, something like that. Mr. Johnson, having worked for 7 to 8 years around exchanges, invested in Coinbase, also had some things going on other exchanges. Maybe they launch projects on different exchanges and all of that. So he understands the operation of exchanges, and he piqued interest when he was approached. Okay, you director is the lady who had approached him to tell him the story of how they suffered some losses and all of that, and showed him the prospects of the exchange and how they needed help, with venture capitalists. So he decided to invest 35 million US dollars, okay, representing his VC. So he's also from a company. They have a VC, a venture capital company that he represents. He's like the person fronting for the VCs. So I just use him, all right? I speak about Mr. Johnson as a person, but he's not there as an individual, but as a VC. So now he has keen interest not only in the profit, but also in the day-to-day operations or running of the exchange, because he understands how an exchange should be run or how the business worked. And so he's interested not only to just dump money like BlackRock, because they still mention BlackRock, they still talk about BlackRock. If you check in the group, I had made some pictures and videos of the VCs, and BlackRock still appears there. And I questioned them. I said, how do we verify that BlackRock is there? They said BlackRock is just an investor. They are not interested in the operation of the exchange and all of that. They just throw in some money and that's it. But this man, Mr. Johnson, is interested in the day-to-day running of the exchange. And so he is one of the co-founders right now. My mission here is, number one, to know the principal partners, the directors, the co-founders, the people who are liable, who are directly involved in decision-making. And when I saw him, he was introduced as one of the founders, co-founders right now, one of the people with the controlling power right now. And then the woman, director, that is Miss Yo-Yo, all right, who also doubles as the owner of Galaxy Digitals, one of the other VCs that we saw on the PDF before now. So she is still here today. That means the two are involved in the day-to-day running of the exchange, not alone, not just the two of them, but there are also other VCs, but those ones are not interested in the day-to-day. They just had an agreement, okay, I'm going to come in this way or with this weight, and this is what I'm going to get. So with that kind of arrangement, we can directly just say, Mr. Johnson and you, director, they are in charge of UBX Exchange. We know there is a new CEO that we got after Alex left. Alex was one of the persons that left. For whatever reason, I'm not even interested. I just want to know how we get our money. So I didn't visit that at all. But in Canada event, November 18th, 2024, a new CEO was introduced, Rennie, all right? He is sick right now, as they said. He's ill, so he couldn't show up, in all of these processes, but he is just a hired employee. They confirmed it that they hired him and they are going to hire more people. They have a total of about 100 staff working right now. Mr. Johnson said when he came on board, there were 80 staff working, the programmers and other operation team and communication team like that. But now that he hired extra 20 people and they are still going to hire more people to make it up to 150 before the end of this year so that things can be sped up to speed up processes of development. So we went straight to asking, where is the money? How do we get the money? They still insisted that that money is lost. And the money that they have brought in, that Mr. Johnson brought in $35 million, cannot all go into servicing. The debt in question is 103 million US dollars. So if they are going to pay back, even if they have 103 right now, let's say they get different investors or VC venture capitalists who will bring 103 million. If they take all this 103 and pay it out to everybody, then they will just pay out the money and then the company will close. That will therefore mean that these venture capitalists are going to be on the losing side because they brought money so that business can boom. And from their investment, they will also gain something. But if they bring that money, 103, and the whole 103 is used to pay off old debts, then there is nothing in for them. That's not a good investment for them. So there's an agreement that only a little portion of that money that they have brought in should be used to service old debts so that the balance can go into new business or fresh business to stabilize the company and put the company ahead when effort comes from the field, meaning when there is investment coming in, new investment coming in addition to the money that was brought in, then they will be servicing the old debts gradually and all of that. They said, however, from the records they have got, 80 to 90% of people are just withdrawing this 0.2%. They are not reinvesting, neither are they promoting the company for new monies to come in so that they can regain stability and take it up from there. And so they needed to take a different approach to solving this. And that led to them coming up with other solutions, also other ideas. For me, the moment I heard that they have been paying out for 47 days, according to them, and they had the record that most people were just withdrawing money and not putting, I wasn't surprised because, that's what, personally, I even encourage the community, and maybe other communities encourage their own investors as well. Everybody wants to be safe. Everybody wants to protect their community, all right? But coming here to hear by myself and to see and to also check with the other delegates, our community members who were on ground before I came, they were really enthusiastic and they believed in the two young guys that had spoken to them the first day. One of them, his name is Eddie. The other one, his name is, what's that name again? I keep forgetting. Gerald and Eddie. Now, these two guys have been in crypto since for many years, maybe 8 years or something. Maybe they say since 2014 or so, I'm not sure. Or for 8 years, I'm not sure what they said. But that since 2016, in 2016, they made their first $10 million. And right now, if they are broke, it means they are worth somewhere around $100 million. So they are big in cryptos. Gerald has worked with Profile. So this is not like story. With Profile, we went to check as he was speaking. You know, my people pulled out the information and they sent me screenshots, which I shared in our group. Gerald had worked before at MEX. He has also worked with Binance. What they do basically is they launch programs, coins. They launch coins on exchanges, Launchpad. So they look at utility solution to problems. They create it around Web3, launch a coin for it and put it on exchanges and all of that. So they are making a lot of money by doing so. So Mr. Johnson, having become one of the owners with the controlling shares in UBX, decided to bring them. They are his contacts. He brought them and said, this is the problem with this exchange, and we're looking to solve the problem and continue business and make the exchange big. So they looked at it together as consultants. So they call them strategic partners, all right? They are not like venture capitalists per se or investors, but they are called strategic partners. So they are looking to make money. They usually launch their projects on other exchanges, but based on relationship, they were prospected to launch their project on UBX to create double value. Number one, to help UBX solve their problem. Number two, to also be able to get value or benefit from what they are going to do, just like they would get value if they had launched it on other exchange. Now, it now happens, co-host, please help me check. I can hear noise. Please, co-host, help me check. So, co-host, please check. If you need to remove somebody, please remove the person. And then check the settings always, please. Check the settings, co-host. Check the settings and help us do it that people cannot mute themselves. So it now happened that one of the solutions suggested by these guys that are crypto gurus is that they are going to launch one of their projects, just like Binance has a launchpad and all of this project incubation, that they are going to create one on UBX. And then because they have a community, they have like a group of people who always buy into their projects. Whenever they have a coin or a new idea concept, people want to follow them. People want to invest with them since they know how to make money on in the crypto space. So as they are coming to launch on UBX, they will tell their community that their project is going to be launched on this exchange, not on another exchange, to be launched on UBX, so that those people will come and join us. We that are 300,000 members now, they'll come and join us here. When they come here, they come with their money to come and patronize Gerald and Eddie, all right? Not to come and do UBX taking, but to come and patronize Gerald and Eddie. These are their mentors or their role models that they are following. So those guys are influencers in the crypto space. So they will come in their numbers, maybe hundreds of thousands of people or tens of thousands of people like that. They'll come to buy this coin so that when the coin pumps or all of that, or when there's value, they will also make money. Seven-figure boss, please, I need you here. Please keep an eye here. You are the only co-host, so please help me. Now, they'll come here and then they'll bring their value here. Now, what is strategic for me is the fact that these people are coming with their money. And so if they are going to be engaging on this exchange, the money they are bringing can add liquidity to this company, and this company will have money to pay us. Now, what they have is strategic partnership, and it's looking like they now created this XAI is their solution, right? They have like an app, an AI app that translates languages. If you speak English, it translates it to any language you want. And they tested it. Dr. Umar is not on this call, but he briefed us some minutes ago, the education team. So he said they did a live test, and people who don't speak English, the Chinese people there, they said something and then it was translated and all of that. So they tested it live. So it's like real world application of AI and all of that. So they are now building the coin for this AI. The name of the coin is XAI. And that is why we have another staking on this UB exchange that is the staking of XAI. That XAI is their coin, is their own project, okay? And it is tied to a real-time utility of language translation, all right? So they are looking to build UBC for it also. So UBC is Universal something communication, all right?
Universal Blockchain Communicator.
Thank you so much. Universal Blockchain Communicator. So that is the blockchain on which they maybe they are launching the XAI also. So those two things, XAI and UBC, they work hand in hand. They are from those guys. They are strategic. UBX is the platform coin of UBTEX, but XAI and UBC, they are the technologies belonging to these strategic partners that they have launched here. What they are looking to achieve is that the people who are coming from those guys will be bringing money to come and invest here, but they cannot buy or they cannot stake or do anything with those projects without having EUSDT. So that is where our EUSDT will be consumed. That's how we can liquidate. Because some people will be thinking, if they release the EUSDT, that means we have to be selling it to ourselves. Has it not turned to member? Has it not turned to Ponzi scheme? Or has it not turned to platform use of currency, which is not sustainable or is not good enough and all of that? So that answered my question, because I also had that fear or that worry, because I objected immediately when they said the solution that they were looking at, there are two things. Number one, to create a button, once you log in, there will be a button where you choose whether to continue to receive 0.2%, but don't forget that one, you will get your capital back in 500 days. So if you continue to be receiving this 0.2, it's very small amount of money. It will take a long time for you to get it back. Number two option is you now opt that they should release all your EUSDT. All right. If they release all your EUSDT is not what you can withdraw directly. How can you now get your money if you cannot withdraw the EUSDT? Because it doesn't make sense to have EUSDT and you cannot withdraw it. So EUSDT will be made a platform token, a platform coin, just like UBX and XAI and all of those things, BTC, Ethereum, all of those assets you see on the exchange. They will make EUSDT a platform coin like that, so that for you to be able to do staking on XAI, or for you to buy any coin that will be launched on the launch pad, you need to buy EUSDT. So where will you get EUSDT from? EUSDT cannot be bought anywhere. You cannot buy it on MEX and transfer it to UBX. You cannot buy it from Binance and transfer it here. You can only buy it from members, old members who have EUSDT. So that is why the exchange will create an OTC, over-the-counter platform for trading, where the new members coming from these guys will be buying your EUSDT and paying you either Ethereum or USDT or Bitcoin or whatever, just the way people buy P2P, for example. Is a stranger, you don't know them. Maybe they are Chinese people or Malaysian people or Singaporeans or Vietnamese or Thailand or anywhere around the world where they are. But they are followers of Gerald and Eddie. So they have come to UBX because Gerald and Eddie have brought their project to UBX. And so now they need to buy. So they will now tell them that you can only invest on this project using EUSDT, or partly EUSDT and partly USDT. So that is where we can sell our EUSDT. That is one way to sell it. All right. But we don't know when these people will open transaction or how much volume they may want to buy per time. In order to make it faster, we can also support in the transaction, all right, as a matter of choice and option. If you have people who want to join the XAI staking, all right, not UBX staking now, XAI staking. UBX staking is taking the UBX, the companies or the exchanges coin. But XAI is Eddie and Gerard, for example, the strategic partners bringing their project. If you want to participate also to get this 0.9% per day for 6 months and 1% per day for 1 year, you want to join in this staking, then you will need part EUSDT and part USDT. Where will you get it? From the old members. All right. Now the question is, we are not interested. Of course, a lot of people are not interested. And we know people just want to get their money and walk away. You can get your money and walk away. However, you will need to wait for the OTC to be launched. How long? Maybe approximately 30 to 45 days, according to their own target right now. In 30 to 45 days, it should be ready. The OTC should be ready so you can sell it. But what if you find somebody who is willing to? Maybe there are leaders, because like I know there are people reaching out to me always saying they feel, in their own opinion, that UBX is making a lot of efforts to work, and they believe that it will work. So they don't mind to just continue to do something. And we said, hold on, let's attend the meeting, let's see, let's watch, let's observe, let's be able to ascertain if truly or genuinely they want to continue. We will know when we get there. If we see an empty office, or maybe they are meeting us in a hotel, maybe not in their office, if we see that the office is not set up, if we see that things are not happening, activities are not happening, then maybe they are folded and all of that. Maybe they are just coming to mop up funds the second time and go away. But when we went there, the office is fully functional. People come in, their staff come in and go out. The partners from abroad are flying in, to do trainings. Everything is like it was before this situation. Everything was intact. The U director has a private office there. The staff, they have their own different offices. They have a training hall, which is functional, and they are doing things there. All of the things are still working. So to us, we felt, okay, the office is still as fully functional as it used to be. Next thing, we see the kind of effort they are putting, going to look for people who would rescue them, like Mr. Johnson, who is a serious business-minded person. I see how serious he is and all of that. And then he was answering questions with authority. We asked him some things and he could confirm directly, okay, I will do this. Oh, this one I cannot do because it will not give us this. I will do that. So he doesn't speak English, but he speaks Chinese. Then somebody translates. He has a translator, Mr. Brown. So that one was translating for him. If we ask him, we want communication. This company, they don't communicate. They abandon us in the middle of crisis. They are not talking to us. They are sending Edmond to update us, and we are not comfortable. He said, okay, I will set up this kind of communication team. Mr. Brown will head the team, blah, blah, blah. So the moment we ask something, he answers immediately or gives us a solution immediately. We reported them to say that they abandoned us. They weren't communicating effectively when we needed communication, and he found solution. We mentioned something again. We demanded something, and he said, okay, I will do like this. We asked for something, and he said, no, this one we cannot do because of this reason, this reason, this reason. So the way he was authoritatively confirming things and giving instant decisions confirmed to us that he has the power and is in charge and is in control. These are the kind of people, or these are the kind of things I wanted to see, not to speak with Edmond. Edmond will say, I will discuss with management and get back to you. And the management they were faceless at the time. That was part of our challenge. So now interfacing with the management, Mr. Johnson and you director, we felt a little more comfortable to say, okay, now it's making sense because our request can either be directly approved, expressly approved, or declined immediately without waiting for days to get feedback and all of that. Now, this is the second thing. And then we said we want it maintained. And what they did, immediately he instructed them to create a platform where his translator, Mr. Brown, and the head of corporate communication, where he will be speaking with Global Advisor of Africa, Laji Abdul Fattah. They created a group. They added new director there. They added Mr. Brown. They added, a couple of people, like 4 or 5 people instantly. So having all of those things instantly put in place, now confirmed to us. He was even asking, he said they have some SEC registration going on somewhere around the world, and they don't even mind to do SEC registration in Nigeria. I was asking Mr. Alhaji Fattah, that they don't mind to come to Nigeria and do, or to anywhere around Africa and do full registration, if that will give us confidence. The same thing he told to the Indian team. So all of these meetings became like a progressive one. The whole gray areas or places where we had gray areas, he was addressing it. He said he was not in the picture from day one, but now that he has come to take over, the operations or the running of the company, there are certain things that he will not allow to happen under his watch, and there are certain things that we will see. Some progressive things that we will see that he will bring, like some innovative things that he will bring, because there are certain ways he does his things, and he's also more experienced than some of the persons that were on ground before. Those people just were passive investors as VCs. They just dump money there, expecting that the company will raise money and pay them and all of that. But him, he's not only coming with money, he's also coming with experience. So that makes some sense. So long story short, in all of these things, instead of taking 0.2% every day for the next 500 days, we thought and we feel and we still believe it's too long. While we're coming here, part of the team's objective that we had was, number one, to make sure that we have direct access to the owner. We wanted to see the owners of the exchange to know who is responsible, who we can hold responsible, and who is liable for our investments, number one. Number two, we wanted to tell them to take away that $100 thing that has put a stumbling block to people who are managing 0.2%, right? So that people can be getting their 0.2% continuously until when the company is able to regain their strength again. But when we saw the seriousness of Mr. Johnson, especially because he flew also from where he lives in Dubai down here to meet us. He arrived yesterday. You director and Edmond went to receive him at the airport, and the control he moves with a lot of control. It confirmed to us that this man is, like the person that is in charge right now. Seeing that all these people are really up on their feet or on their toes, trying to make sure that things are in order and all of that. When he came around, it confirmed to us. And then the man said he doesn't want people to stay too long, 500 days, to get their money back, because the excitement that made the exchange to make that 300,000 registration within the short time, that excitement will not be there. So he wants that at the earliest they are able to recoup their money, so that they will see and confirm fast enough that he indeed wants, or they indeed want, the right thing to be done. For me, it also makes a lot of sense, because if I have to wait for 500 days, then I can only make a decision to reinvest after that 500 days. I want to be able to collect all my money and wait and see. If I don't find a better project before, I can now say, okay, since my money is out, if I like, let me just put in a little percentage of this money. Let me put it back. If I don't find a better object, that's what I will do as a person. But if they get their money back in a shorter time, then their decision to reconsider or to forgive the company and still do business with them, the chance, they can, that chance is there, is bigger, right? So that makes a lot of sense. So now this leaves us with 4 options or 4 ways to liquidate our EUSDT, because the EUSDT will be released. That's the final decision. The option was, should we give option for people to do 0.2 every day to continue like that? Once they choose, if they go to their back office, there'll be 2 options. Choose that you want the 0.2% continuously, but you cannot change your mind. Or choose that you want your EUSDT, everything released to you at once. It will no longer be suspended. So a lot of debate back and forth, different countries. We have to regroup ourselves. Nigerians speak with themselves, meet with Indian leaders. What do you think? This. So we analyze things back and forth. And then finally, the final decision is that it is best, or it is better, to have all the EUSDT released, because there are 4 different ways that people can recoup their EUSDT. Number 1, people will be able to sell it on over the counter. So you are selling it to strangers as P2P. All right, these strangers are coming from these 2 guys, these 2 strategic partners. They are 2 different people. They are not friends. 2 different. They are not together. It's not the same companies. Like the both of them operate 2 different companies, and they are bringing 2 different projects to UBX. So the members of their community that are coming with them will form part of the customers absorbing this, our EUSDT. But in order to make it faster and to put it in our own terms and our own control, if we have our own people or ourselves to an option, all right? And we may choose to sell to them at a discounted amount for us to cash out fast if we want. So let's say there's somebody who says, me, I don't mind. I think I'm still okay with these guys. I'm going ahead. It's a matter of choice and option. We're all adults. We're all business people. We're all investors. Nobody dictates to anybody whether or not to make a decision, whether to continue or whether not to continue. People will make their own decision when this update comes out. So if just 10 people out of the entire African community decide to go ahead and they want to stake on this guy's XAI project, they need 30% of EUSDT. Where would they get it? They must buy from members. So they may contact you, they may contact me, they may contact anybody in the team to say, please, I want to stake $10,000. So I need 3,000 EUSDT. Where are we going to get it from? We must put in the group. Somebody wants to buy 10,000 EUSDT. So they will mop up from you, all right? So you get your money, maybe in USDT or in Naira or in Tanzanian shillings or Kenyan shillings, Ugandan shillings or South African rand, as the case may be, whatever local currency. So you get it and you are out. You can just walk away, forget about UBX, delete the app and go to bed. Go do whatever you want to do. However, there are some people who are willing to continue, and there are some people who are willing to still talk to other people about it. So the more the options, the faster it is people can cash out. They did a calculation on the wall, on the chalkboard, on the board, and then on that board, we saw that in 2 months, I'm not able, because I don't have time right now tonight, but in 2 months, 60 days, basically, people can liquidate. People can get back their money if they invest in XAI. People can get back their capital that they are investing, both the new money and the old money. Everything will be out in about 60 days. Maybe when Chidi speaks, he's going to explain better because you know, they were there earlier than myself and they understood better. So another option is you yourself, you may want to restake. So if you want to restake yourself or you want to sell it to members of your community, whether new or old members, as the case may be, or you wait when the OTC is ready. They are developing the OTC right now. It should be ready in a few weeks, like they said. So that will be a platform where people, strangers from anywhere can just go and say, I want to buy USDT, just like we go on P2P to say want to sell or want to buy. So that's one in case you say, oh, I don't want to sell it to anybody I know, let them not come to me if the company eventually crashes or if the exchange eventually crashes. I don't want anybody to come to me. You can go there and sell it to a stranger. Those boys are in China, they are in Thailand, they are in faraway places. So, you know, it is their choice and their willingness to buy off you, and you just sell and you go your way, all right? And then there are some people who say, I don't want to sell on OTC. I don't want to sell to my friends or family or members of my team. And I also don't want to invest myself. There is a fourth option. This fourth option is wait until fourth quarter of this year. They want to make EUSDT to be directly paired for liquidation. That means just the way we have BTC/USDT, you can buy and sell between these pairs. They will make it like that so that you can sell EUSDT or exchange EUSDT and withdraw it. Okay. So somebody wants to say, why did we agree to this kind of arrangement? Why don't we just insist that the money should be transferred to our USDT now? People want to withdraw their money. Let them. The answer is they don't have the money. They have lost the money through whatever Black Swan, and somebody within the team stole some, and then somebody also you know, hacked them as it was said, and all of that. So they want to be able to do that. But don't forget, it's 30%, 70%, right? If you don't have it, there is another option, which is not like an official option, but is a suggestion I overheard Chidi explaining to somebody out of wisdom or out of careful thoughts, you know, that maybe you can partner with somebody who wants to stake. Maybe the person wants to stake 2,000. You can give the person 30% of 2,000 so that the person will pair, and then is a borrow. There's a way he explained, you know. So maybe he's going to say that is unofficial. So that would make it like a possible fifth way. So you borrow out your EUSDT, the person stakes part of it, and the person is giving you 50%. So you are sharing it 50-50. There's a way it says, so 50-50. All right, the person wants to stake 2,000. Instead of taking out 70% of 2,000 as USDT and 30% of 2,000, the whole 2,000 can become 70%, and then you can provide liquidity of 30% of that 2,000 from your EUSDT for the person to pair, because the person cannot stake only USDT. Nobody can stake only USDT. So if somebody comes with 2,000, maybe it's your friend, it's your business partner, it's your close person, you can propose that, okay, I match whatever you have with 30% of it, okay, as a loan, which you give back to me. But from money realized from this 30, this whatever I'm bringing, 50% of it you give to me, because it's going to be making 1%. So that maybe you have $20,000 of EUSDT, and there is somebody who is looking to stake maybe $70,000 or $80,000. So maybe this $20,000 is exactly 30% of that amount. So that can be your equity provision, your equity contribution in that partnership. So every day you are sharing, you are getting maybe 50% of whatever comes out from that. Or there's a way they were discussing it. Maybe he would help us with that. So you are sharing the profit from that, your own contribution. Okay, or maybe you are just getting the full 1% or full 0.9, depends on your negotiation. By the time that staking has reached 60 days, you have already collected 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. In 60 days, you have already collected all your $20,000 and even more profit on it. And at the end of the staking duration, the EUSDT will still be released to you because it's taken. So at the end of the profit, after the profit generated, the EUSDT will still be released to you. So you have taken your 20,000, you still have the EUSDT equivalent. If it turns out in the future that the OTC starts working or the EUSDT is now withdrawable, you can now withdraw it if you want. Or you can now use it to buy some of the incubation projects, some of the coins that they'll be listing there, you can now use it to buy it again. If it's skyrocket, you can liquidate it and withdraw. So that becomes like double profit. So why they did it like this is to ensure that there's continuity of business, because they said if they carry all the money from venture capitalists and pay out debt, one, it will not go round. So who will receive? Who will not receive? Number two, the venture capitalists bringing this money, they will not allow that their money goes out because they're also putting close supervision. That's why the man is employing his own loyalists to keep an eye for him. He's a big man. He cannot be there to keep eye 100% with, but he's bringing his own staff. He's bringing his own set of staff. And he said he has employed 20 already and he's going to continue to employ. So that means some strategy must be in place to ensure that something happens, right? Yeah, I believe strongly that taking your money out in 2 months is better than taking your money in bits of 0.2% for 500 days. But the process is what we must choose what works for us. Like I said again, what works for one person may not work for the other person. We are not in the best position to judge. Nobody knows tomorrow from today, only God. So nobody, not me, not you, not anybody knows what the future of UBX is. Bybit was hacked just a few days ago, the biggest in the whole world, in the history of the world. Since the history of exchanges, empty gogs, all of this one, no one had as much hits as what Bybit had. But yet, Bybit didn't die. Why? They have grown big and have gained stability. They have made enough money or more than what has been stolen from them, so they're able to survive. So what this means is we never can tell what will be the future or what will become the future of UBX. There will be people who believe that they will survive it, and there will be people who don't believe. Whatever you decide or whatever you believe, you are entitled to your opinion. One thing that we must all do is to respect the decisions of people, because there are some people here who believe in the future of UBX. Okay, it will be completely wrong for you to want to impose your opinion, all right? It will be impossible to impose your opinion on the person who believes that UBX will survive. And if you are the person who do not believe that it will survive, oh, it's just a way to mop up people's money and disappear again and all of that, you are also correct, or you may be correct. It will be wrong for you to try to impose that belief on the other people. People who believe it will survive. It will be wrong for you to impose your right or your opinion on people who don't believe that it will survive. So let's you not try to convince them to invest because I see that it must survive. It will survive because of this and this. No, don't impose your opinion on people who don't believe. And people who don't believe, don't impose your opinion on people who believe. Respect everybody's decision. We are all adults. We all can make decisions for ourselves. Whatever decision you make for ourselves, myself, Daniel Onoja, as the GCM of WIV, I respect your decision. Let us from henceforth make the decisions what we believe is good for us. From what I have seen, my own opinion is that they have a chance. A chance is not a confirmation or a guarantee. A chance is to say, because there is willingness and because they are making efforts, they have a chance. So they may not, all right? But what option am I left with? I have myself and my wife about $300,000. Myself alone, maybe 200 and something thousand, and my wife also a lot of thousands, right? Both in equity and EUSDT, all right? So we have that already there in the system stock. Now it's like somebody in the middle of an ocean. Is a swim or sink affair. If I say I give up, then it means I'm saying I don't even want to see if it will work or if it will not work. But because I have a huge commitment, I want to pay an open mind, okay? I'm not going to go sell off my properties or sell off something to come and put in fresh money. Neither I'm going to stick around. I'm going to give chance. I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to be able to stick around to see. If somebody says, okay, I want to buy, I'm going to be able to sell a little bit. If the OTC comes out, I'm going to be able to sell to promote them aggressively like I used to do? No. Am I going to talk down on the possibility or talk down on the chance that they have to survive? No, I'm not going to do. I'm just going to watch the progress. I'm going to wish them the best. I'm going to support them the best way I can. I'm going to be doing explanations to the community members to enlighten people. I will not help anybody make decision. I will not advise anybody on what to do. I will only tell people the story of what I have seen here in the meeting and let the people make their own decision. Because if it goes well, I would like whoever makes decision to take the credit, not to say, oh, thank you, Daniel. If not for you, I would have. No, I don't want to take the credit. I want you to take your credit. And if it doesn't go as planned, nobody will be able to say, you forced me or you convinced me or you pushed me or something. I will not push or convince anybody. I will only educate people. I'll tell people the story of what's happened in the meeting, in the dialogue, and I will make my own decision to be around, to not be aggressive promoting them, and not be negative to demarket them. I will not do any of that. So from this moment henceforth, everybody will need to make decision for themselves. But I may not have explained it as clearly as you may understand. And that's why we are inviting them, all right, to have a corporate explanation of all of these things. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next tomorrow, they have not confirmed to us. We ask them and they are willing to come, but they need to check their calendar to see when is best for them. And then we'll communicate it. And I promise we'll communicate early enough. There will be a lot of hours in between that will help you prepare. But before I leave, I want to leave the virtual floor for Mr. Chidebere, who is going to summarize all of these meetings and also contribute or add his own, because he's also here with me in Singapore. I don't know how much of value I have added this evening. I don't know how much of relief this may have given you. I don't know if you are disappointed. I don't know if you are hopeful. Um, I have a lot of commitments, all right, towards this community, and that's why I've done what I've done. Flying all the way to this place and staying up again to give you this information is my own little way to say, is my little way to show, because I always like to show. I'm not the person who like to talk about what I can do. I like to do it so that people see that I'm doing instead of just saying. All right, this is my way of showing to you my commitments as a GCM of this community. And the next voice you shall hear shall be that of Mr. Berry. So for those people who are disappointed that I'm not saying, don't worry, by tomorrow, put your wallet, they'll pay you. I will say, I'm sorry, but don't be disappointed. Don't be overly disappointed. It's a process. Any accidented car will not be as it used to be again. All right. It's a gradual process. Anybody who falls ill, terminal disease, the recovery process is gradual. It's not just suddenly. So don't expect that they'll just say, bring your wallet or take bam. They don't have what it takes to pay everybody. And that's just the bitter truth. But the willingness to recover, to pay you back your money is there. I've seen it, and they have put out some of these plans. So let's be hopeful and optimistic that it goes as planned, because I see that if everything goes well, we'll all be happy. All right. And even if it doesn't go as they promised, I see that they have given it a shot. You know, they have taken the chance. So thank you so much for listening all the way. And please, like I said, there are different people with different opinions. They have different positions, different perspective to this thing. Respect everybody's decision. Don't enforce or don't force your own opinion on other people. Let's be as civil as possible. In our groups, if you post any negative, you'll be removed. Not because we don't want you to be negative or to have your opinion, but if your opinion is going to affect other people's mood, other people's health, other people's life, other people's, then keep it to yourself. It's very important. We're going to remove you. So just be warned or be forewarned. You can be negative and keep it to yourself. You can decide, I'm not going to put in money. It's okay, but don't come to our group and say things that would make some people depressive. All right. Mr. Chidi, if you are still awake, please take the virtual floor. Please forgive me for taking longer than I planned. I just wanted to dish out as much value as possible, and I hope I was able to meet up with this. Mr. Chidi, if you're there, I just made you
Thank you, brother.
So you can unmute
Thank
yourself.
You, brother.
God bless you. Thanks for staying up till this night with me.
Yeah, thank you, brother. You're an incredible leader. I really want to say thank you so much for being who you are as a leader, an incredible one at that. You've really given so much value. And please, I want you to throw him some fire emojis. He deserves it. Bomb him. If you want to bump him, bump him. Want to throw fire emojis, throw fire emojis. Just feel free, express yourself the way you want to, because let me let you know he has given so much value. I see the bombs coming, 7-figure balls. Thank you so much. I see the fire emojis. Well, Philomena, you are phenomenon. Oh, I see Cash King. Throw him fires. And Energy Peter, correct. Bomb him. I love the bombing coming in. Bomb him so much that he won't even be able to sleep until tomorrow morning. Bomb him. Throw the fire. That's good, you know. When you have an excellent leader, a leader by excellence, he has delivered so much. It's not easy. I'm still awake also. This is 4:15, 4:17 a.m. thereabouts. You know, we've waited for this time to ensure that we carry all the Nigerian community and beyond. You know, please, I don't want anyone to interrupt my thought flow. Please, anyone, admin, please help us check out anyone who is trying to interrupt our thought flow. Maybe they're not really. I mean, please let's respect one another. Thank you. Please let the bombing stop. It's too much. It's too much. The fire emoji. Let it stop. And I also want to congratulate everyone who is on this call, all of our very wonderful community leaders. You people are amazing. You are amazing. I know there has been many, many challenges. All the while, it has been, like we've been in full expectation, and we have fought battles that we can't even come here to start explaining how we fought, you know, and we have prayed also, and I thank God that we are where we are today. So I want to give it up to all of you who are on this call today. You have really done well to be on this call. You've waited, you are patient. We fought together. You have stayed in the boat. UBIT happened to be in the middle of an ocean, and then the overtidal wave began to toss it to and fro, toss it up and down. And then we were all in the ship, a ship that is taking us to the other side of the shore. And then, something happened, the sharks came up, the wave was beating hard, and then the captain steering the ship, struggling to get everybody to the shore. You understand? And then if we tell the captain, no, 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 you don't need to get us to the shore. Where is the shore we are talking about? 30 days, 45 days from now, ODC is going to be open on our exchange platform, and then we are going to be able to pull out our funds. Those who don't want to stake can get out their 100% EUSDT from the OTC. And then the captain is telling you, wait, we are going to the shore, because it is not impossible that some persons will say, and you have removed the suspension, and why not allow us cash out our money immediately? Such kind of questions will come up. But I'm just giving you this example to know that the ship is trying to navigate its way to the shore. Don't allow it sink, because if the captain lose grip of the how do I put it, the turner, if it lose grip and the ship sinks, okay, we're all gonna sink with the ship, and we don't want that, right? We don't want that. And what do I mean? $35 million against $103 million debt. Okay, the debt is obviously going to swallow it up. But you see, strategies have been put in place to ensure that we all get out. Our EUS is a fantastic strategy, well-crafted, total strategy. So we just need to be patient with the process and follow it through. He has mentioned it again. I don't need to mention again, that you can either wait for September, October, when we are going to be in NASDAQ, and then even your EUSDT plus your equity token is going to find expression through shares, and you get out all your money, which is not even up to 500 days. Secondly, you can decide to say, I want to invest because you believe in the project, the XAI that is coming, because now the exchange is going to have a launch pad. When you go to Binance Exchange, for example, it is called Launch Pool. When you click on the launch pool, you see different project listed, and a lot of people love to participate in launch pool because they know they can make a lot of money, a world of money from launch pool. Okay, so now we are integrating that also into the exchange. The company is integrating that into the exchange, and before you know it, yes, a lot of participation is going to be coming. People want to invest in the launch pad and incubation projects, and they believe they're going to make a lot of money. Actually, we are looking at the company has told us it's going to be a 0.9 for 6 months or a 1% for 1 year on a daily basis. You know, so, and I don't know how long that is going to be, because the percentage may change. I don't want to talk about that, but that's what they're offering, right? I know a lot of people who have made a lot of money from Launchpad. I personally have made a lot of money from Launchpad, especially on the Binance exchange. You see that? So now, looking at that, thirdly, you can decide to transfer your assets to any individual who wants to come on board or anybody who wants to stake. 30% of it per time you can transfer. If you have 10 persons that want to come on board, by the time you are transferring 30% to 10 of them, you have finished selling off your EUSDT. And then if you feel you don't have anybody, there's no you are just an investor, you know nobody, you can't do any transfer, OTC is there. Coming by God's grace, we're looking at about 45 days from now, and they kept re-emphasizing that OTC comes from 45 days against 500 days, which is better. Okay, now you go to the launchpad, and then you transfer your entire EUSDC, you sell it off on the over-the-counter DEX, and you get out your money. I mean, there is nothing as soothing, as inspiring, and as comforting as this. Maybe before 45 days, you have somebody, one or two persons that want to invest. Okay, you sell 30% of your EUSDT. You keep selling until the OTC DEX is ready, and then you are able to pull out your funds from the OTC. Okay, now I was even thinking there could be better ways that we can even do this thing. Imagine that you now decide to say, "Oh, I want to give someone a loan." That this is the suggestion I was just bringing. I was just a carefully thought out suggestion. You can decide to say, "My EUSDT, I want to loan it to people that are interested in investing." So you can decide to say, anybody who has, for example, $1,000, I want to support you with 30% of that $1,000. Meaning that the person just needs to provide $700, and then you provide the balance of $300, which is 30% of $1,000. Or just to be clear, I want to use $10,000 as an example, just to make it a little clearer, just a little easy to calculate, right? So you say anybody who has $7,000, you want to invest $10,000, I will loan you $3,000. So now you loan the person 3,000 EUSDT and strike a deal to say at the end of the tenure, you return my 3,000 EUSDT to me, number one. And number two, any money you make, okay, any money you make will calculate 3,000 EUSDT. If you chose a 1% profit, then it means we are looking at 1% profit daily on 3,000 EUSDT that you borrow. The person will share 50-50. At the end of every day, the person is withdrawing daily, or at the end of every month, the person is withdrawing money. Whenever there is a withdrawal, you share 50-50. You see that somehow you are making money from your money, even if your capital that you are borrowing the person is still there. At the end of the tenure, the person gives you back your money. And remember that the volume is going to count for you. Imagine that you're bringing someone into the system. The volume will count for you, and you still make commission from it. I mean, this is wonderful. Okay? So you want to invest $10,000, I'm telling you, don't worry, I'll loan you $3,000. Or you can even say, okay, I'll give you 30% of that $10,000. And what is 30% of that $10,000? At the end of the day, the person is investing $13,000, right? So whatever it is, the volume counts for you. Number one, you're going to earn commission from the volume. Number two, on whatever the person makes out of that $3,000, of course, you know how to do the calculation. 7,000 belongs to or 10,000 belongs to the person, 3,000 belongs to you, isn't it? Since you don't have the money, the USDT to invest, you are now using your own EUSDT to still participate in the token. You see that? Please, if you love this suggestion, I just wanted to throw some fire emojis. If you love this suggestion, feel free to throw some fire emojis, right? I want to see, just to be sure I'm communicating. You don't have 70% to bring it to the system. Now you want to use your EUSDT to loan those that have the 70%, if you have any, right? So now you loan them the EUSDT. They are happy. They love you. You use it as promotion. They say, wow, my leader is supporting me. God bless you. Oh, I've never seen this before. Somebody loaning me 3,000. You know what you are doing, right? You loan 3,000 EUSDT at the end of the day, okay? You're making money from your EUSDT, and at the end of the, that's 50-50 right now. At the end of the tenor, the person still gives you back your EUSDT, because EUSDT at the end of the day will now become a scarce commodity, because on all of the launch pad that they will be launching on the exchange, you must use EUSDT is going to be needed to power it. So you, at a point in this exchange, EUSDT will not become gold. It will not become treasure. So having EUSDT is like having so much power. A time will come, everybody will want to preserve or reserve their EUSDT. So if it's even possible for you to mop up EUSDT from people, if you have the capacity, feel free to mop it up, because we don't know the future. Because they have said that EUSDT is going to be used for launch pads, and the company is not producing any EUSDT for anyone. Okay, EUSDT is only owned today by those who have it. That is the previous investor in the former system. How you ensure the other partner is not going to mess up with your EUSDT depends on your agreement with the person. Of course, you must know who you are loaning or who you are borrowing. You know who. If you don't trust the person, you simply don't do it. It's as easy as that. So I just thought about this and I felt, wow, the community needs to know this. If you see an opportunity, and it's good so that we don't miss out. We don't have to miss out in XAI, because XAI right now is going to do some X. It can do 3X after launching. It can do 4X. It can do 5X. Considering the fact that new community from these guys, these super guys, I don't have the luxury of time to really talk about right now. But what I saw, I was like, wow. You understand? I was so amazed. My mouth was open. You understand? I was like, wow, things are really happening. Young guys doing great things, right? So I don't have time to talk about their profile, but it stimulated me. I'm telling you, I was stimulated. So you see, you can just take that as an advantage. If you don't believe in UBIT anymore, if you just feel that I just want to have my peace, of course, a lot of us have been affected in one way or the other. Please just pull out your funds 100% from the OTC and just have your peace. I love what the GCM of Wave has said, and I sincerely want to mention that I want to add my voice to it. We have come to a point in our business right now that you must take 100% responsibility for your investment, 100% responsibility for your financial participation with UB, 100% responsibility. I'm happy that this call is recorded today. Nobody is forcing anybody to join the project. The GCM of Wave has spoken that we must respect people. Let us not talk down on people. Let us not try to elevate the opportunity. People should just take decision. We are at the point right now where solution has been provided. And this is a win-win situation. We cannot always win. Okay, one party would not win. This is a situation of no victor, no vanquish. Solution has been provided, and they said they are not changing or going back to what they said. This is the solution that they are provided, and they are sticking to it. And with the way things have changed, the management have restructured everything. In fact, we have been privileged to now have opportunity to be part of those who will discuss about certain issues before we even get the notification on the exchange, so that if there is anything we do not like, we would have trashed it out before they bring it out. So you see, any information that you're going to see going forward must be information that have been carefully looked at and agreed on before it comes to the notification page on its notification box, because of the level of engagement we had with the management yesterday. So these are things that are happening. Ladies and gentlemen, not to bore you, I'm tired myself. I want to sleep. This is the best I can say for now. I may not have remembered everything I need to say, but so far I believe that over 98% of what we need to know has been said. Right now, you have the opportunity, to decide. You have the opportunity to either choose to continue or stay back. Wave, the GCM of Wave, and all of its governing councils have unanimously agreed. Everyone, from henceforth, you are now responsible for your own decision. I wish you all the very best. We have fought so much for the community. We love our community. We will continue to fight for you. But the only thing we will not do is to say, come and stake, is to say, come and do again. We will continue with showing you the opportunity or showing you opportunities, but we will never take responsibility for your decision, because we believe that you're an adult and you have the capacity to think and to decide and to make practical decisions. So thank you so much, the GCM of Way, for giving me the opportunity to say one or two things. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much once again for staying up till almost few minutes to 5 a.m. here. We have not slept for some time, so I need to go myself. But maybe there are one or two questions that I need to answer. If you put your question in the chat box, I would be glad to answer just one or two questions. All right. Somebody said I got a notification from UBX app that XI will be delisted. So let's give them some days, because they are still working on things. So I really trust that they need a few days I believe they need a few days to put everything what we just agreed, because a lot of things were discussed. So maybe they are working to put all the things we have agreed in place. Let's see what it is, because they will come to address us themselves. Can we stake XA with our EUSDT only without extra USDT? The only way you can do this is through the fifth option we purported as a team, as a community, not the company. The company has 4 points, but we thought of it and came up with a possible fifth option to say you can provide your EUSDT as your only commitment in a partnership, where you need to find somebody in your team, or maybe somebody that you can speak with, even if they're not in your team or community, right? Where the person can maybe come and create an account in your team, and then the person's commitment is fresh money USDT. Your own commitment is 100% EUSDT. Whatever comes out from this, when you pair the two, because it's dual staking, right? It's one coin against another coin. So it's USDT against EUSDT. So your own commitment is 100 purely EUSDT. So for you to entice this fresh investor to do this partnership, you can offer a 50% of your daily 1% or of your daily 0.45%, as the case may be, so that in 1 month, you know what you have received, right? Out of 30%, you get 15%, 15% in a month. So by the time it continues like that for 3 months, thereabout, you have got, something tangible. When you do 6 months, you already have all your money out, and you still have that same value of your money that will still be returned to you at the end. What will happen to our money that was on the UB card? This is a very good question. I honestly didn't remember to ask, but trust me, since we are still here, we would ask this question. I've taken note of this. We'll ask about this. I also have some money, maybe 2,600. We'll ask, and we'll get back. But if they can clear EUSDT, that's their biggest liability. If they can clear that one, trust me, every other thing will fall in place. This one will be small something. But we'll ask and get back.
Okay, brother, can you permit me to answer one or two of the questions that you couldn't treat?
Yes.
Okay, now, you see, on the delisting of the XAI USDT, if you check when it was listed, it is not our XAI. It was listed last year, 2004, 1st of January. Then UB has not started. It's not the XAI we are referring to. That's why they are taking it out of the system. So if you go to your app right now, you type XAI, you search it out, and then you check the trading pair against USDT. Just check out the history. You see when it was listed, and then it was listed at 1.2, and then it declined. So they are removing it. Okay, so and if you check, the smart contract address is not the one that's going to be introduced. Okay, so let us expect the removal. It is not the XAI that we are bringing in, So we will see a different XAI, not that particular one. It does not belong to the UBX exchange. So whatever token that looks like what we are bringing, most times you go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, you will see several UBITs. You understand? You see several ones, and then if your care is not taken, you won't match the one with the right contract address, and then you do the wrong thing. So that has to be delisted to pave way for what is coming. And also, somebody said, uh, 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 someone said I have not been seeing my money that I invested $100. The truth is, I've had several persons come to me to say the same thing. The truth is, the money you don't actually know where to see it. I remember the $100. If you look at 0.8% or 0.9% you chose, it is so insignificant that if care is not taken, you would not be able to exactly see where it's dropping, because maybe you are withdrawing your 0.2% daily, and that amount is overriding on it in the in the page called asset name. What's coming? If you click on assets and then you go to asset name, click on asset, click on N. Instead of product right now, click on asset name. You will see your money dropping. If it is UBX or UBC, you will see it as STUBC or STUBX. You see it as STUBC or STUBX. Okay, so I told a couple of persons who had that complaint. I told them not to withdraw their 0.2 yet. They should hold on. They should first of all go and check out the release of their daily mining, and they saw it. So what has been happening to you is because of the insignificance of maybe how much you got from the $100 investment reactivation. It was so insignificant that when you pulled out your UBX, it overrided on it, and then you didn't notice it. But if you check right now, since we have not gotten 0.2% for some days now, if you go to asset name, click on asset, go to N, instead of product, you select asset name, you will see that you have gotten some accumulation of your daily earning. And also maybe later, we'll show you where a record of all your daily earning is, so that you can see it for yourself and know that UBX has not stopped in any way to pay anybody. And somebody is saying, that it is not fair. I have to get, do you mean I have to get 70? Nobody is telling you to do anything. Nobody is telling you to invest. We have said it time and again. If you don't have it, just leave it and wait until you get out your balance. That is your EUSDT from the OTC DEX. Please, we are not saying go and look for money and invest. It's only for those who believe in taking chances, those who want to try it. If you don't have money, please don't pressure yourself. You have pressured ourselves too much since last year. I don't want you, this fellow, to pressure himself. You don't need to pressure yourself. Hold on and get your EUSDT in full, converted to USDT from the OTC DEX. But if at all you want to try it, you feel it's something to be tried, especially because of the belief maybe you have in the project, then you want to take chances. Then you don't want to complain. Then you don't want to say they are forcing you. They gave you 4 options. That shows that they are not forcing you. Pick any of the options you feel is best for you and ride with it. We are at a point where no one is forcing anyone right now. Just make the best decision for yourself, such that you believe, is in consonance with your financial sensibility, and then you are good to go. The equity token, I'm happy to tell you that a lot of work is ongoing. In fact, SEC has approved, that is SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission for US has approved the document, okay, that is going to that forms part of the process for the listed and Nasdaq, and negotiation on what the unit of the value of the unit of each equity token is going to be is being discussed right now, and then a lot of work is ongoing to even get UBX Exchange, into Nasdaq, on or before October this year. So we are looking at Q4 at the most. Q4 means fourth quarter. That's about September, October. So let's just keep praying and trusting that by then, it will have been listed, and then you will just pull out your equity token through shares, and then you are all going to be cashing that out. Okay, Dan, brother, please go ahead, sir. GCM.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Lewis, can you please end the recording? Please end the recording because it's getting overly long. I don't know how we're gonna upload this. But it has to be uploaded as SAP. Unfortunately, it was not cloud recording.